Something else I'd like to share with you this morning are two key insights that have emerged from the data analysis we've undertaken on the survey over the last few years. And the first of these relates to a concept that in engagement literature is referred to as diseconomies of scale, as opposed to economies of scale. And this relates to the fact that the number of employees in an organization can make a big difference to how effectively they relate to and work with one another. Now, there's a renowned anthropologist by the name of Robin Dunbar who formulated a theory referred to as channel capacity. And he argued that human beings have a limited capability to work effectively in groups. In fact, he contends that the maximum number of individuals with whom we can have a meaningful and genuine social relationship is 150. Beyond that threshold, the nature and quality of the social network starts to actually diminish quite significantly. And commenting on this phenomenon in his best-selling book, The Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell advised that when organizations become too large, there's a risk that employees actually start to have less and less in common, and they become relative strangers to one another, diluting what has been referred to as their shared identity. And that happens as the gap between the senior-most and junior-most person becomes significant. A level of dissonance starts to set in, and equally when your business units and departments become oversized. Now, the trends emerging in the survey have certainly appeared to reinforce this theory, where your smaller employer organizations are achieving, in general, much more favorable scores on the survey than your medium and large-size employer participants. But at the same time, our analysis has highlighted that the top-performing large organizations in the survey are in fact successfully countering this negative effect of size. And they're doing so by focusing their engagement strategies at the level of individual, department, business unit, and organization. In other words, they've adopted a differentiated and stratified approach to doing this. And as a result, they're achieving much more favorable scores from employees at all organization levels and across multiple business units. Another sort of area we're tracking with interest is the impact of employee age diversity on overall reported employment experience. And initial indications are, very interestingly, that those organizations who have high variation in age are struggling to achieve high overall levels of employee engagement. So this for us is a very interesting phenomenon. And again, looking at the top-performing companies, in this instance, regardless of size, we're finding that those companies that, again, have a more differentiated and segmented approach are achieving much smaller variation between the reported employment experiences coming through at different generational levels. Now, what is the significance of these two pieces of insight for participants in an initiative such as this? It's really, in our view, that if you're setting out to deliver an exceptional employment experience and build a brand as an employer of choice, and you decide upon a more generic, undifferentiated approach, the likelihood is that you're going to achieve suboptimal results. But those companies who decide to adopt that more differentiated, tailored approach that caters to the different segments in their workforce, it's been shown achieve far more positive outcomes, and again, are a lot more successful in building and sustaining that brand.